Mallett from Mallett Buildings. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. We've got an interesting show. We're going to be talking about ants. Apparently there's some people that have a problem with ants, so I decided I would talk about that today as our subject. But let's get started. Always remember, hey, military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, you get a $500 discount when you come in here and buy a building from Mallett Buildings. I don't think my competitors do it because they don't advertise it. We're proud to tell you that we do. Now, hey, $1,000 off a signature building or a elite building if you type in cash. That's a $1,000 discount right off the top. Okay, let's keep going. This is my ambassadors. These people are willing to show you their building. They're willing to talk to you, tell you about their experience. Folks, look at all these ambassadors all over the place. And there's more than that. I just hadn't a chance to put them all on the map. But what does it tell you when people buy from you and then they want to represent you? I think that's a powerful thing, and I don't think I could say anything that makes that better than when customers are willing to show their product off. How you doing, Mr. Tackett? Happy Wednesday to you too, sir. Now, community-oriented, locally owned and operated in Iowa, Louisiana. It's committed to supporting local communities through job creation and reliable service. This is just some of the things we do, folks. Folks, we give back to the community. I think that's an important part of who you do business with. Do you want to do business with an out-of-stater? Takes all their money out? You want to do business with people who don't give back to the community at all? Don't help education, don't help kids, don't help anybody? I think that most people prefer to do business with someone who gives back to the community. I do. So let's continue on. Hey, we got the sale going on, the best building in the business. It's the elite building. There's the prices. $43,999 for a 30 by 50, $53,950 for a 40 by 50, $61,598 for 6012. You will find something cheaper, and we do sell a cheaper building called the value building. But you're not going to find a building with the value this building brings. You're not going to find a building that has 5 on 12 pitch standard, truss every 3 feet, not 5 feet, posts every 9 feet, not 10 feet, 6-inch slab. This building is loaded down, folks. It is the best building in the business. It may be more expensive, but not for what you get. You pay for what you get in anything in this world. At least I believe that. At least that's what I've noticed all these years on this earth. Now, let's keep going. Hey, the best is, can't even be, we have the value building, Signature, the 3 buildings. This is our lowest price building, our 3-star building. Signature is our 2-star, then our 4-star, and then our 5-star is the elite building. Okay, let's check this out. Value building, key points, kill-dried, all of them are kill-dried, 4-inch slab, 4,000 PSI. My competitors are going to give you 3,000. Much stronger slab. Engineered cable retention system. They're not going to put it. We're the only ones that do it. And that's engineered, folks. Concrete under every post. They're not going to do it. 2x6 scissor trusses. They're not going to give you scissor trusses standard. 130 mile an hour wind load rating. Mine are stamped by an engineer who works here. Not by somebody I send the email and he stamps them. And we're a licensed professional engineering firm. This should put your mind at ease that everything we build is engineered to spec and can get the job done when that tornado or when that hurricane comes. We are in hurricane season, folks. You need a building that can take it. I've been through 16 hurricanes. My buildings are designed to take on the hurricane. Then we go to our Mallett Signature. Now we jump to 2x8 scissor trusses. 5 on 12 from 4 on 12. 26 gauge Mallett is across the board. Roof and wall insulation standard in this building. 2 10x10 roll-up doors, not one. 6-year workmanship warranty. And that's what separates this building mainly from the value. Now we get to the building that I always say is the best building in the business. Dollar for what you get, you cannot beat the price. You cannot beat what you get. Look at all the things you get. If you notice, everything in green is what was added to this building. We added 2x8 scissor trusses. We added 3-foot truss spacing, 9-foot post spacing, 2 10-foot roll-up doors. Gutters and gutter brushes standard. 6-inch 4,000 PSI. It's went from a 4 to a 6. Concrete slab with control joints. Post protectors with insulated windows. Continuous ridge vents. Wainscot. 145 mile an hour wind load. This is the building, folks. Dollar for what you get. It is cheaper than my cheapest building because of the value that you get with the building. Okay, use our spec sheet to compare other companies' products. I will send you a spec sheet whenever I send you my quote. If you call, this is how you can tell if my competition is not being untruthful to you or telling you really what's going on, because I detail to the T on my qualifications to what's in this building. This report card makes you see what you're going to get, and it becomes binding if he does it. He can sign it and say, no, I want this, this, and this. That's what you agreed, or I'd have went with Mallett. Best thing to do is just go with Mallett, not deal with that. Ants. Okay, here's what I was talking about. Ant problems. Folks, no building that I know on God's earth can stop an ant. The only thing stopping ant is to find that nest and kill it, or spray your outer perimeter, but until you find that nest, you're not going to get rid of those ants. I'm telling you, thinking closures will stop ants is like thinking a screen door will stop the wind. That's impossible. You all know that. Sounds nice, but it's not reality. A structure is designed to keep people and weather out, not microscopic invaders. Ants can get into million-dollar homes, hospitals, and high-rises. That's not a flaw in the building. That's a job for the pest control. Why you might see ants in your building? Ants exist in every structure: homes, shops, barns, and churches. Warm and humid Louisiana, ideal ant environment. We all know that. Ants come in for food, moisture, and shelter, not due to poor construction. Why you might see ants in your building? Even slab foundations don't block ants. They can and will find cracks and gaps. Closures and insulation won't stop ants. They crawl around and under. Mulch, trash, and food near your building attracts them. So let's keep your food sealed and off the floor. Store your pet food, snacks, and sugar-based products in airtight containers. Wipe up spills quickly. Even small amounts of sugar, grease, crumbs can attract ants. Trim vegetation away from your building. Ants use branches, grass, and plants as bridges to entry points. Avoid mulch near the slab. Use gravel or keep mulch at least 12 to 8 inches away from the foundation. Seal small gaps and cracks. Use caulk or expandable foam to fill areas around windows, doors, pipes, and slab joints. Install door sweeps and weather stripping. This will help block tiny entry paths the ants use at ground level. Clean trash bins and keep them sealed. Garbage odors attract ants from a distance. Remove standing water, fix leaky sick pots, and AC runoff near the slab. Ants seek water just as much as food. Schedule routine pest control treatments. Regular spraying and baiting is the most effective long-term defense. I think that some people believe, and it's not going to happen, that you can build a building that's going to stop ants. Okay, you can hard stop mice too. They got to find a little bigger hole, but you got to fumigate, or you got to put something to stop them also. There's a lot of pest control is called pest control. Building quality does not stop that. What happens after you sign a contract? So I want to go through a little bit of this today with you all. Let's take it up. Okay, phases of your project: design, permits and plans, delivery, building, forming, concrete, final installation, and inspection. Design phase. After you sign your contract, our team has 15 days to get a building design to you for approval. That does not apply to residences because those are more detailed or can take longer. And that's legal days. If there's any changes in the design, adding a wing, changing the size, etc., it happens here. That can also extend that 15-day period. Okay? Permits and stamp plans. If your project requires stamp plans, the engineer approves the design and stamps them. You take your design to your permit office for a permit or permit waiver. Or you can pay us to do it for you. But there's a cost for that because when we become the contractor of record, that means we're the contractor. We take control of the job, which means we're now going to put people on the job site every day, and that starts costing more money. And it can range anywhere from 10 to 15% to your contract when you add us as the contractor, because we do everything. We pull the permits, we run the job, and it's all over with the crime. But you pay for that because we got to keep somebody there every day. All right. Delivery phase. Once you have your permit or waiver, we schedule your material delivery. Weather depending delivery is typically 6 to 8 weeks after your permit is received. That's typical. Sometimes it runs a little longer depending on the weather. If we get 4 or 5 weeks of rain, we can't deliver. It slows us down. A lot of or heat waves, things like that. This number can jump anywhere, to 13, 14. Just depends. There's a lot of factors that control this, and it's in the contract. We're specific about what can happen. We can't control Mother Nature. If you recall, when COVID came, it really backed us up. So when Mother Nature gets involved, we try to stick to, we want to build a building faster than you. We're not sitting on these buildings just to sit on them. We want to get them up and out of here faster than you. I'm here to tell you, we're not sitting on these things, okay? All right, building phase. Once the materials are delivered, our crews arrive within 2 weeks to erect that building. Depending on the size. If we're building a residence, it can take longer, but typically it doesn't. And the weather jumps into that too. If we got a heat wave going on, the guys can't work all those hours. If it's raining, that slows them down. So all these factors have to be taken into consideration. Crews take 3 to 4 days to assemble your building. That is possible. But there's factors that come into that. I've seen them do it in 2 days. I've seen them do it in 3 or 4. I've seen it take a week. I've seen it take 10 days. There are factors you have to consider whenever you build that building. Mother Nature, heat, rain, okay? Hard hurricanes. You get a hurricane out in the Gulf, we're going to shut down. You lose a week, 10 days, depending what happens. And if it's a bad one, it can really mess things up. So you got to take all those things into consideration, folks. Farming phase. Once the building is erected, we measure the foundation levels and have your fill sand to bring the foundation to grade. Remember, we do not have the amount of foundation sand you're going to need in your building because we do not know what the elevation of your product is. If you give me a level pad, it's not too hard to figure. So what we do, once it's done, we send an inspector out there, we run strings, and we get measurements, and then we determine how much sand you will need. And it is an approximate number. We will never hit it on the money, so you may have a little bit over. But you have to spread it. We can't get it exact. I know a lot of people think, we got to get it. I can't get it exact. It's impossible. We're trying to get as close as we humanly can. Okay? Our crew's foreman installs the moisture barrier and cable retention system. This is what this looks like. That's the finished product. We're measuring 6 inches. We have the visqueen, moisture barrier. There's the cable retention system. Okay? And then we're next on to the next phase. Concrete phase. Once the foundation is at grade, we schedule your concrete pour. We ask that you be on site for your pour to sign off on your finished product. Let's talk about this a little bit. Folks, you don't get a second chance with concrete. You need to be there. Okay? You're going to be asked to sign a CBR, which is a completed concrete pour, that you're 100% satisfied and it was done to your specifications. I cannot pour this slab and read your mind. I wish I could. That's why it's imperative that you be there. It's imperative before that concrete gets hard while it's green and that you sit there and you talk to the finishers. Okay? While we're talking about that, let me tell you what else we have. I always recommend you use a pump truck or a line pump. I don't like to use the trough. I don't like to use Georgia buggies. Okay? I prefer to use the pump. A lot of jobs you have to use it. The reason why is I don't have to add a lot of water, whereas in a trough you're going to add water. So it's going to be cheaper, but all those charges are separate from your contract, and you choose whichever one you want. Now, whenever you decide to do this, understand we don't know your terrain or what. That's why it's not in the contract. Okay? So remember, you're going to have to buy the sand based upon the measurements. You're going to have to determine if you want to use a trough, Georgia buggies, or line pump, and that is an extra cost. It is impossible for us to do those things prior to signing the contract. Okay? Now, let's continue on. Final inspection. Once the concrete is poured, we will finish installing building features, gutters, doors, electrical. If there are any cut control joints, if people has in, and conduct the final inspection. And we typically put, if you buy the elite building, which is what I recommend, or if you choose to buy gutters, we put them after we pour the concrete. After years, 26 years in business, we have found that it's better to put the downspouts and that at the end. So there's no chance of somebody hitting it. All right? Now, every step of every phase is monitored. As you can see, everybody, if this is your job, there are pictures being taken and cataloged forever. From the beginning, from the time they delivered, everything that's going to happen on your job, okay? All right? There's the materials on the job site. This is a job where this is 2 jobs apparently, or one job, 2 jobs. So everything that's done on your job, there's pictures being taken from here, and we're watching. We've got company cam. We're watching all this stuff go down. Okay? If we get a call in, we can actually go there and actually start looking at the jobs. They say, we got a problem. Go, okay, get the company, and let's see what's going on. You can actually video it also. So we're trying to be, that's called quality control. We're trying to stay on top of everything for you from the very beginning to the end. All right, as you can tell, company cam again shows the depth of the holes. Here's the poles going in. Posts, not poles, posts. Here we go. This is more company cam videos that are kept on this job. That's what happened on your job. All this is kept. There, that's company cam. See, everything we do is being documented. So if there's an issue, we can go back and look at it. There's no misunderstanding with a written deal. Here we go. Everything that's going on, we are cataloging pictures of everything that's happening. Unmatched quality control. We build our own trusses. We have our own truss plant. You're welcome to come. Design in-house, engineer in-house, monitor and document every step of the project from contract signing to the last screw in the metal. All right, folks, let's talk about the red flags. I always do this. Let me explain why I do this. I want you to be prepared with knowledge and what you need to look for so that you're not taken advantage of. I've been on the State Contractors Board for 15 years. I've been chairman for 8. I've seen a lot of people taken advantage of. But when you do the things I'm getting ready to tell you, you should not, or your odds of this happening to you are slim and none. So let me help you. Go to the Secretary of State, public record, years in business. This isn't bashing. I've been accused, oh, you're bashing your competition. No, I'm not. I'm trying to tell you what you need to make sure your competition is good so that you don't get hurt. Licensure. Go to the LCLBC. It's going to tell you how long they've been in business, how long they've been a licensed contractor, if they're a licensed contractor. It's also going to tell you how long they've been one. And while you're there, you're going to check for convictions. Needless to say, I don't think I need to tell you, if you see that, you might ought to think twice. Go to the BBB. Google reviews. You're going to get a true picture of what's happening from a third party. Okay? We have the most of anybody. I think we have over 500, and I don't know how many, we have a lot. All of my competitors don't have that. But we do, because we believe it's important. And visit the contractor's facility. You can tell a lot by someone's operation. I've been here 26 years. If you've only been operating for 2 or 3 years, you're operating out of your house, that's a red flag. That is a red flag, folks. Or you can end up like this poor lady. She got hit for $160,000. Or, I don't know who he hit, but he hit somebody because they charged him. Or, you can be like one of these two cats. And this one's still operating. You better be careful of him. He's been convicted by us, and he was charged with contractor fraud, multiple parishes, I've been told. This one, same thing. Now let's look at the report card. You know, this report card tells you these items is what the report card's about, right? All these red X's are there for a reason, folks. Our company is all checks. We're proud of that. Yeah, well, so we did, my guys, let me tell you what we got here. You know, common with Mallett is like choosing a levee before the storm. Southern style is the sandbag after the flood. Okay, buying from Mallett is an investment. Buying from them is a gamble. Okay, buying from us is like hiring a master craftsman. Buying from them is like handing tools to a hobbyist. The reason you say this, and I think it's kind of funny, is look at what they've done. Their history. Why would you not want to know this? It's not bashing. These are the facts. Because if you call them, do you think they're going to admit this? Oh, no, they're not going to admit none of that. They're not going to tell you they've been caught or convicted. They're not going to tell you, they're going to try to go to your house, not you go to their place, because they got no facility. How many years have you been doing this? I've been 26. Less than 12, less than 20, licensed less than 1 year, not accredited, folks, be careful. Be very careful. Now, let's continue on what we got left. We always like to tell you about that elite building, the best building in the business, the Hurricane building, the only building that's coming in with 145 standard. Okay? Folks, these prices are cheap if you see what's in the building. It will cost more than those others, but when the storm comes, you'll be glad you had this baby. Because your slabs are thicker, your trusses are closer, your posts are closer. It's a better building. It was designed for Louisiana. It was designed for hurricanes. So remember, we'll do a price match. I'll beat any competitor by $1,000, apples to apples, on the spec sheet. So that we are comparing apples to apples, because what they'll tell you is, oh, it's the same thing as Mallett. No, it's not. No, it's not. But if that's true, they'll be glad to sign that spec sheet that you're going to get everything that I'm offering in my bid. If they won't do that, turn around and run. Now, the great news is you save $1,000. The other news is you get a multi-million-dollar company with all this for free. Why take a chance with this? Why not go here instead of, well, I don't think I can back, whoop, yep, instead of here, whoop, 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 well, I'm not, wait, well, I can't get to it, but there it is. Instead of all this, why do you want to give yourself trouble? Why take a chance with all this stuff? Is it worth it? I don't think it is. After being on this board for 15 years, I've seen some poor people taken advantage of. And I'd hate to see that happen to you. Now, if you want to do business, that's fine. But if they get to you, that's also your fault too, right? So why take a chance? I don't think it's worth it. Well, and once again, see a building near you. I got people that are willing, who've done business with me, to show you their building, talk to you. Tim Tackett's one of them, great guy. You ought to see his building. He's got a hell of a building. You ought to go see it. Ask him how we treat him. Ask him about the construction. Don't ask me. Ask some people that have bought from us. Hey, we got the 3D design. The way that works is this way. Look, we know y'all got time. Y'all's time is valuable, right? You go right here. You design your building, pick your colors, put your windows, doors, whatever you want to do. Hit that button, it comes to me. We're going to get you a quote right away. Thank you, Mr. Betts. Laying rock, get y'all, okay. And it has been wet, y'all. Look, the last 2-3 months have been extremely wet. It's raining all week now as we speak. And there's nothing we can do about that. I wish there was, but there's nothing except we fight it. We fight it. We fight it. That's the construction business. That's just the way it is. So look, you want to buy a building, you want somebody who's there whenever it's convenient for you. Hey, call one of my building specialists after 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want. He'll work with you on your building. You can call him at 337-214-0428. Now look, I think that's my last slide. Yep, it is. So first of all, let me say this. Everybody who's bought from me, thank you for your business. I appreciate you. For those who are giving me opportunity, thank you for that also. For those that are thinking about buying, give us a shot. You won't regret it. And I can tell you one thing. We'll be here when the rest are gone, and mine will be standing when the other buildings are gone. So look, give me a call, 337-515-2154. That's my personal cell phone number. It's on every page of every contract. So thank you all for listening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey, have a great night. And once again, thank y'all for all the business y'all give.